Jeanne Demessieux was a French concert organist, composer, church musician, and teacher. As we celebrate the 100th anniversary of her birth, we want to honor her life and legacy with a focus on the French-American musical connection that she helped to foster. We've chosen the 12 chorale preludes, which she specifically composed for American organists, and the Te Deum, which was inspired in part by her U.S. tours, to highlight her work as a church musician and also as an international concert organist. For an introduction to her early years, we will travel to Paris to meet Hampus Lindwall, current Titulaire organist of Saint-Esprit.
So, here we are standing in front of number 8, Rue de Docteur Jean, where Jeanne Demessieux lived from the 30s. So she was born in Montpellier in the south of France, but she finished the conservatory with her first prize at age 11, and then her father realized that for her to progress with her music, since she was so exceptional, they needed to go to Paris to study with the best teachers. And he was working for the railway company SNCF, and he asked to be transferred to Paris, and they moved to this neighborhood in the 12th arrondissement of Paris, and it's called Douligny. And here is where she lived from the 30s until she moved to her own apartment a little bit further down in the same neighborhood. At the time, the Church of Saint-Esprit was built, and the church was finished in 1932, 1933, and somebody heard about a girl in the neighborhood who played the piano apparently, and they asked if she could come and accompany the masses. So that's how it all started. Here we are in the front of the Church of Saint-Esprit, where Jeanne Demessieux worked officially between 1933 and 1962. Now we are inside the church. The organ in the church is placed on the side up here, and it's actually the choir organ. And the great organ has its place over here, but it was never finished. It was actually never constructed. Jean Alain inaugurated the organ here in 1934, and after this Jeanne Demessieux was the organist here. So this is the organ by Glotron de Bière, which is the only instrument now of the church where Jeanne Demessieux worked for so many years. She composed most of her pieces for a bigger instrument, of course, but you can still feel that the composition of this instrument has really influenced her, the style and the choice of stops in her earlier works. And as you will hear in this small chorale that she wrote during her period here, which is dedicated to the father Frère de la Motte, who was the first priest of the church.
As Demessieux's concert career flourished, she made 3 North American concert tours in the 1950s, with New York City being an important stop on each visit. We know that she had a special connection to the Cathedral of St. John the Divine, and we will go there now to hear from Dr. Raymond Nagem, who will share more about that space, the organ, and how it helped to inspire one of Demessieux's most famous pieces, the Te Deum.
My name is Raymond Nagem, and I'm standing here in the incredible Gothic space of St. John the Divine. As you can see behind me here, much of the cathedral, along with the great organ, is currently under restoration following a fire in 2019. But it was here at the great organ that Jeanne Demessieux tried out her Te Deum in 1958. She would have found when she arrived here one of the great organs in the world, not just the great organ of the cathedral, but one of the greatest instruments anywhere, built by the Aeolian Skinner Company and just finished in 1954, shortly before Demessieux's tour. She tried out the Te Deum and said that it sounded the way she imagined it to sound, and it was a relief to her. I'm incredibly boggled by that statement because one of the features of the great organ is the state trumpet, a stop that is absolutely unique in the world. It's a rank of trumpet pipes en chamade that is mounted horizontally, pointing out from the wall, beneath the rose window. And because of the distance between the state trumpet and the console at the other end of the building here, it takes about 2/3 of a second when you press a key before you hear the sound of the state trumpet coming back at you. That's mostly due not to the organ action itself, which is very quick, but to the speed of sound traveling over a distance of almost 600 feet. If Demessieux did hear the Te Deum as she intended, it's a testament to her extraordinary skill. First, her extraordinary coordination and organ technique to be able to play a piece of such complexity in an acoustic of about 10 seconds. Not many people can sit down in an acoustic like this and just make music the way they intend. It's an adjustment period for me, and I suppose for most people who try it. Demessieux apparently took to it just swimmingly. The other extraordinary thing is that the writing in the Te Deum doesn't go back and forth from one end to the other. She doesn't really oppose the state trumpet to the rest of the organ. Instead, she writes passages where both are playing together and actually with some amount of rhythmic intricacy between the two. And so if she was able to play that and to hear it the way she intended, it's testament to a truly extraordinary musical mind.
Jeanne Demessieux's Te Deum and her 12 chorale preludes are just a small portion of her creative output, and Saint-Esprit and the Cathedral of St. John the Divine are just two of the many places where she made music. Through her concert tours, she shared her music with thousands across Europe and the United States. We hope that in this centennial year, you will take the time to discover more of Demessieux's music and to learn more about her remarkable life.